welcome back to the Lounge Life podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Rob, and joining me tonight is none other than the Howlin' Man himself, Big Al.
Oh,
There you
that came
go.
through.
That came through. We're good.
Okay. What's
So,
going on, everybody?
thank you. Thank you very much. So,
Oh,
we have such a special episode today. We are going to be joined by an amazing guest, none other than Dave West from Avowed Cigars. He has so graciously agreed to come on, hang out with us, talk about Avowed, and just kind of hang out with us for a little bit. Tell us about Avowed and tell us about the amazing cigars that Avowed makes.
hmm
Um,
chop it
yeah,
up.
chop it up. So first, before we do any of that, I want you to go find us right now. You're watching us now, so I know you know where we are. But I want you to go to YouTube. I want you to subscribe. Then, after you do
Hit
that,
the subscribe button.
hit the subscribe button. If you don't want to hit the bell, don't hit the bell. But hit the subscribe button, please. It helps us out. Then you're going to find Lounge Life Podcast on Instagram. Follow us there. You're going to find Howlin' with Big Al on Instagram. Follow him there. You're going to find me, Sticks at the Shore, on Instagram. Follow me there. Why? Because I told you to. Why other? Because we make awesome content. That's why. So, yeah, just
Because we're
follow
nice.
us because we're nice guys. Super nice. And we like
We're fun to
cigars
hang out with
sometimes
in
when I'm
whiskey.
not being when I'm not being super bitchy.
Don't do
It
that.
happens. It happens. So, um, what else? This part of the show, we also like to thank our partnerships for the show. We have a bunch of show partners that we like to thank because they've been so good to us with supporting us in so many different ways. So, our first, the best, the OG, we've got Valor Cigar Accessories. These guys right here. They make cigar cutters. They make uh cases. They've done all kinds of um personalized stuff. They do they do it
Hats,
all.
patches, stickers.
Yeah,
Yes.
all kinds of stuff. But most importantly, they are an American company based out of Texas, and 10% of the profit goes into first responder and military charities. So go support them because it's important, because we love our country and we love to be alive
Yes. And they support us.
and they support us. So, yeah, there you go. Then we're going to thank Heavy 8, our lighters. They've
Yes.
got two flames. I love it. One to light it up, one to touch it up. They got a soft flame, torch flame. Um, and what Al loves to mention for you pipe smokers, you don't have to find another lighter to go light your pipe,
That's right.
but check them out. They're fantastic. They're our neighbors to the north, oh Canada. Then we'd like to thank our beard sponsor, Beard Products, Badass Beard Care. It what keeps me looking sexy. You
And it
can't look
does the
big
best.
sassy.
It does the best it can for me.
Well, yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are, beard oil, beard balm, beard wash, beard conditioner, tools, organizational kits, all kinds of stuff they got.
Yes.
So,
All the
uh,
stuff.
all the stuff they have. This one is their new seasonal scent, the Brewmaster. It is citrusy. It is Norwegian fir. It is smells like a Blue Moon IPA. It's fantastic. So if you love it, go find them. It's seasonal, so it's not going to last long. Um, and I don't fear the beard,
Nope.
so you
I
shouldn't
tame
either.
my I tame my man mane.
There you go.
Yes.
And we have two new sponsors. And before we do that, before we get into our show, we'd like to thank our two new sponsors. One of which is our new, I would say, our online retailer for cigars, Small Batch
Yes.
Cigars. Thank you so much. Find them at smallbatchcigars.com. They are fantastic. They have all kinds of stuff. They have some of the coolest samplers. They have some of the best prices. They ship for free. And plus, what you guys get from us is if you use our discount code, we have our own little discount code. It says Lounge Life. One word, Lounge
One
Life.
word.
Use it because you get 15% off of your order along with the free shipping that you already get. You get 15%.
Yes.
But unfortunately, there are some exclusions that apply. And yeah, that's the way it goes.
It's still
So
great. It's
it's
still
still
great.
great. Still great.
They have cigar of the month subscriptions,
Oh, yeah.
and it's tiered. You have a $20, a $30, a
A
$50,
$50. There's a $50, and I think there's a $70 too.
and that's what I was going to say. I think a $70 also.
Yeah.
So, and your cigar cigars multiples will always exceed the amount of the package.
Yeah, and they always come shipped with Bovida, so
Yeah.
that's
So
how it keeps
it's
them fresh.
it's gonna be great value.
It's gonna be great. Very
Super.
good. Super. Very good. And our last partner, but not the least partner of all, a this is a Cigar Brothers product, Cigar Brothers Humidors product called Freshbox. It is the newest humidor system on the market. It is fantastic. It uh stays closed, it stays fresh. It is a dummy proof system. Honestly, if you are afraid of setting up a humidor, it is dummy proof. It's got polystyrene on the inside, magnet closes. It's got a nice piano finish on the outside. It stacks. It keeps your cigars humidified. It keeps them all in one spot, and it keeps them looking sexy as fuck, if you ask me.
Yes.
They
Yes.
also, and the coolest thing is they have branded stuff too for like your special editions. I know Al and I both got the blackened ones because we just love blackened cigars because they're fantastic. But it's got like Dominicana, it's got Romeo y Julieta, it's got Monte Cristo, it's got Camacho, it's got all different brands on the outside of the box in its own colorway, and then you have the serrated boxes on the inside. Um, and it comes with the Bovida pack, and the Bovida pack lasts a freaking year inside. So,
Yes.
and it comes with a
Oh,
cutter and a lighter.
cutter and lighter, and it's not just the humidor that you get. You get 3 packs of cigars included in the price of the humidor.
In the starter kit.
Yes. In the
In the
starter
starter
kit.
kit, which run $99, which are fantastic. You get 12 cigars, a cutter, a lighter, a Bovida pack, and a humidor that lasts forever. So
And it
go
comes in
check them
a
out.
really sweet dust bag. I mean, it's
Oh yeah, I started
all
using
top
it to hold
notch.
all kinds of stuff. I don't know. What it is, what it is. But yeah,
Yes.
so go check them out. Cigar Brothers Humidors Fresh Box. Um, fantastic. Go check them out. Um, Now with that being said, we can get to the rapper report. And the rapper report is always brought to you by our friends over at Avowed Cigar Accessories, makers of cutters and lighters and all that good stuff. They have new product coming out. Be on the lookout. We will be the second to know because they'll be the first. We'll be the second to know. We will
Right.
have them for you to show you, and you'll love it. It's fantastic. So,
Most
Al,
definitely.
what do you got for me today?
So, one of the biggest announcements so far this year has been the announcement of San and Son uh, with Jonathan Drew and Drew Estate. So they have announced the first 5 lines and targeted for early 27 release.
Mm-hmm.
So a day after teasing one of its debut lines, they have announced its first 5 lines. The company is a new joint venture between Jonathan Drew San, co founder and president of Drew Estate, and Swisher, which owns Drew Estate. It will be based out of Miami's Wynwood neighborhood, where
Mm-hmm.
Jason and Son Lounge and Factory will be. So the factory is slated to hit full production in September, so just months away, which is also when the first 5 blends will be finalized. Once open, the company says it will employ 4 rollers who will produce a total of 500 cigars per day. A press release says that the tobaccos have been selected and approved by Drew himself.
Mm-hmm.
Given this timeline, the lines are currently targeted to debut January of 27.
Which means,
Um,
guess what? We'll have them just in time for PCA in Vegas. Let's
that's
go.
exactly right. So the first 5 lines will be um, our trademark, unquote, by Jason and Son. The This one I'm not sure how to say, but the mag magra magrugata,
Pose
Madrugada.
Madruga?
Madru- yeah, that sounds right. The third, 13 years. Fourth is West End, and the fifth and final is called Homegrown. So they all feature images of the Brooklyn Bridge and Sag Harbor Windmill.
Mm-hmm.
So those images are used as a secondary band for each of the 5 bands, but also get featured on the main band of their trademark.
Yeah.
So, oh,
We don't know much about them yet, but what I do know is I believe homegrown is gonna be like a mix fill. It's gonna be like a papas fritas.
mhm.
Um it's gonna be like papas fritas where it's gonna be like a mix fill cigar. Um from what I know. Um so it's gonna be the cuttings of all the other different cigars in the line. And then the other one I know, I think West End, they said is going to be a which one? There's gonna be a collab one too. Which one is the collab
Okay.
one?
So, trademark harkens back to the beginnings in Brooklyn, New York in 96, as well as the 16 years he lived in Esteli, Nicaragua during the early days. Today, my family and I are just 4 blocks from the family factory where I oversee every detail of the manufactory. Let's see.
I know
The
what it is. Here it is. Here it is. It's the West End. The West End is going to be a collab from him in New York and the other one from the West End of Kentucky.
There it
So
is. Yep.
there it is. So the West End. So those are the only two things we really know. And then West End is going to be like a Connecticut style because we have seen pictures. We've seen pictures of the West End is like a Connecticut wrapper. It looks like, and then it looks like the Madrugada or is it the trademark? I think it's a darker one. One of the it was either the Madrugada or the trademark was a darker wrapper. But like I said, we don't know blends yet, but we do know the West End is going to be a collab cigar, and then the homegrown is going to be a mix fill. So
Yes. And Madrugada is Spanish for early morning.
yes,
I did find that out. So,
okay,
yes, so we're all extremely excited and
heck yeah.
ready for those offerings. So, so Rob, what's piqued your interest?
So it's kind of neat. We are talking about new cities for upcoming PCA shows. So St. Louis moves forward with the smoking ban exemption to attract PCA convention and trade show. So for many years, St. Louis has been floated as one of the few cities that could host a PCA annual convention and trade show. A list of cities is quite short only because the trade show needs a convention center of pretty exorbitant size. You know, if you've been to the trade show, you know how big inside it is. But it needs a convention center of a certain size, as well as one that would also allow smoking indoors, because that's all we do is we smoke cigars in a cigar trade show. Uh, Go
Yeah.
figure. Um, so for many years, St. Louis has been floated. We went through that. The St. Louis Board of Aldermen voted 8-6 with one abstaining to advance a bill that would create an event specific exemption that would allow smoking in certain parts of the Americas Center Convention Complex, the city's convention center. They said it is a premier cigar convention and that the convention center has been trying to get to the city of St. Louis for the last several years, said Alderman Rasheen Aldridge, D14, at today's meeting. Unfortunately, there's a hiccup because of the Non Smoking Act that was passed, has the convention center listed as one of the places you can't smoke in, which sucks. You would see
Wah,
how that would
wah,
throw a wrench
wah,
in the
wah.
wah, wah, wah. So it said, Aldridge, who said that he is not a cigar smoker but is the bill's sponsor, referred to the organization as the Premier Cigar Association, but there was no question as to what event he was referring to. So he already mislabeled us. So let's start there. Um,
Yeah.
he mentioned that event had been held in Las Vegas and New Orleans, the two cities that have hosted every PCA convention and trade show since 2013. As part of the proposal, the convention center would need to have both permanent and temporary filtration and exhaust systems, set up physical barriers between the smoking and non smoking areas, and signage to designate which areas are smoking and which are not. Members of the Board of Aldermen indicated they received lots of emails about the proposed exemption, likely in part due to not fully understanding what the PCA convention and trade show actually is. So this is just like craziness to me. I get it because they're not, they're probably not cigar smokers. Um,
Yeah. They're not quite in tune yet.
so much of the confusion seemed to be about whether the exemption would be a more widespread exemption, like the one that would be permanent, or exempt more than just part of the convention center. Even amongst the members themselves, there was clear tension between an effort to generate more revenue for the city and the weakening of anti tobacco measures in the city, because tobacco is bad. Eh.
Nah. No. Cigarettes are bad.
So
Tobacco is not bad.
at various points, Aldridge suggested that it was a 1 day event when it actually is a 4 day event, and that people wanted to sample cigars so they could decide if they wanted to purchase more. While that is somewhat true, the PCA convention and trade show is an industry event that primarily exists for retailers to attend and place orders with cigar companies. It is not open to consumers, and retailers are placing orders to be delivered in the future, not to walk out of a convention center with full boxes of cigars. Per
Correct.
Aldridge, per Aldridge, Brad Dean, president and CEO of Explore St. Louis, which operates the convention center, has been working to get the trade show to the city. Aldridge said that it would have a $4.2 million economic impact, including generating $465,000 in tax revenue for the city and bringing in 5,000 people.
I
Yeah,
think I think that's modest.
modest. Well, I mean, if you looked at the numbers for this year's PCA trade show, I think it was around 4,000. 4,000.
Okay.
He also touted that it would create over 1,200 jobs, a figure that likely references the number of people required to put on the event. Though the proposal includes language that would allow any convention center worker to opt out of working the event due to concerns about smoking or any other reason. Aldridge credited Stanley's Cigars, a local cigar bar with 150 years of history, for helping him to better understand the issue. So at least they did research.
Yeah.
So,
And at least they're giving people options.
yeah. So if St. Louis becomes an option for the PCA, it wouldn't be until 2030, unfortunately, at the earliest, because the PCA has already announced locations for its next four trade shows. We know 2026 was New Orleans, Montreal Convention Center. 2027 is going to be Las Vegas, West Hall. 2028 is going to be Las Vegas, South Hall. And then 2029 is going to be back in New Orleans again, at which point you'd have the availability for St. Louis to come in 2030. They say it's always good to see more cities acknowledging the economic footprint of the PCA trade show and other shows like it where smoking is an essential feature, says Joshua Habersky, CEO and executive director of the PCA, in response to an email from Half Wheel asking what the organization's plans might be for St. Louis. Says we are under contract with Vegas and New Orleans for the next 4 years, but this gives us another option to consider for future years. Now, as of March 20th, there was a small update. It says the St. Louis Board of Aldermen actually voted 8-6, with one abstaining to pass the bill. The same results as when the bill was introduced last week. The bill now heads to Mayor Kara Spencer, who will need to approve the exemption. When the bill was debated last Friday, I don't know what date that was, most of the opposition was related to smoking. But a new form of
Mhm.
criticism was levied today. They say 3 aldermen opposed the bill, pointed out that the bill does not define what a convention facility is. Language bad,
Hmm.
which could potentially allow for other city owned venues to get the exemption. Oh, God forbid. Oh, tobacco bad. The fiercest opposition came from Alderman Sharon Tyus, D12, who said that the citizens should sue over the bill's language and that the city should stop funding the convention center if it will allow for smoking. Tobacco bad.
Hmm.
Alderman Rasheen Aldridge, D14, the bill's sponsor, said that the event was targeted for 2030. As Half Wheel mentioned last week, 2030 is the first open date. The only other notable part of today's hearing was that it was mentioned that the event may only take place once every 3 to 5 years, perhaps a sign that the PCA convention and trade show would only be hosted in St. Louis every 3 to 5 years. Because we know PCA is every single year,
Right.
just on a rotation. So there's a lot of going on. There's a lot of weird goings on in St. Louis that they need to learn. They need to get their learnings on about. So I'm sorry about being long winded, but I thought that was a really interesting
Yeah.
news article. And of course, my wife is already like, "Ooh, I want to go see the arch." I'm like, "Ah, damn,
It's not that great,
it's big." Eh. So we'll
but
see. Like I said, a lot of the aldermen obviously smoking bad, language bad, So
mm,
I don't know.
fix it.
It is what it is. I mean,
Fix it.
listen, look at all the stuff going on with, generational tobacco bans and all this stuff getting put in place and flavored cigar bans everywhere in the United States. And it's just it's craziness what people, the myths and the misinformation that people have about cigars. But
Yes.
yeah,
They're medicine.
yes, they are just as good as Xanax.
Well, I mean, just ask any soldier from the Civil War.
Yeah,
Fixes headaches and everything.
true. So
So,
that was our long-winded rapper report. Sorry, guys. So it moves us into what's in the ashtray. And what's in the ashtray is brought to you by Small Batch Cigars
cigars.
because they're freaking awesome. Use our code, get 15% off. Lounge Life, all one word, 15% off. Plus, you already get free shipping. Go check them out because I said so. Um, so, did you smoke anything fantastically amazing recently?
Yes. And what better sponsor to have, or I'm sorry, what better partner to have for what's in the ashtray than the place where you can get great deals, great prices to fill your ashtray?
Oh,
Small batch
absolutely.
cigars. I had an Avowed cigar, the Vow.
Okay.
So it is a Ecuadorian Habano wrapper and binder with, okay, now
All right.
uh
Time for Al to butcher the words. Do the words, Al.
Dominican Piloto Cubano,
Piloto Cubano.
Criollo 98,
Oh, he got it. It's 100% so far.
Corojo 99,
Okay.
San Vicente.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is where it falls off the table.
Oh no.
Katui,
Katui.
C O
Yeah.
T Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Not that bad.
Kotui. Yeah, Kotui.
Yes. Yes.
I give you like a 98.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Still an A. Still an A. But it was just fantastic. Of course, quality construction, um, creamy, baking spice, um, a little nutty. Not sure which one, but you know, and little bread. I'm not sure
What type of bread?
what type of bread, but type of bread.
Type of bread.
You know, wonder. Um, but yeah, so it was really fantastic, and just can't commend them enough on the products they're putting out. What about you? What stood out to you?
So I had a fantastic cigar. I don't think I've ever smoked one of these before, which is actually kind of weird. So don't laugh at me when I say this, because it's one of my favorite brands. Who I says doesn't make a bad cigar. Um, and that is a Charter Oak Habano
Ah,
from Foundation.
yes,
So found Charter Oak is like their budget line. I hate to say budget line, but it's their
it's
more cost
it's their
friendly.
cost effective line. Yeah.
There you go. I hate the word budget. It's their cost effective line. Charter Oak, fantastic.
Mhm.
Smoke them all day. 100% yard gars, but so delicious. So I had the Habano. It has Nicaraguan guts with a Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. Um, and it is pretty much like a medium plus. Um, and it really gave off like great notes. It like nice white pepper, like a woody cedar, an earthiness, and like roasted peanuts. And it's got a closed foot, which is fantastic. So when you like light it up, you don't toast the foot, you just kind of light
Nope.
it up, and you get that really nice first blast of wrapper flavor. It's so delicious. It's just a really delicious cigar, and it's foundation quality. So, I mean, for under $10, you can get an absolute killer cigar.
Yes.
Um,
Banger.
but yeah, Charter Oak Habano, man. So I love it. They have, I believe, Charter Oak has a Connecticut, a Habano, and a Maduro.
And a Maduro. Yep.
So it's a little something for everybody. But yeah, so I had the Habano and it was fantastic. I don't even know why I hadn't had one before, but I had it. Middle of the day, just was like working outside. I was working outside, like power washing the deck, and we had a couple days, a couple weeks ago where it was like 80, 90 degrees, and I was outside power washing the deck and getting the backyard ready and setting up furniture. And I was like, you know what, I need a yard guard, and I just decided to grab a Charter Oak and was like, all right, I can deal with if I drop this, not crying myself to sleep at night.
Right.
Um, so yeah,
But it's good enough that you might cry.
yeah, I probably would. I mean,
You
it's a
could,
cigar,
but you
so I
could
probably
replace
would.
it.
I could,
It's great.
but I wouldn't.
Fantastic.
But I wouldn't be disappointed if I had to replace it. Let's put it that way. I mean,
Right.
for under $10, it's fantastic. So, but yeah, that was kind of what I had for my what's in the ashtray, because foundation is fantastic. So
Yes.
yeah, and as always, our segment of what's in the ashtray is brought to you by our amazing friends over at Small Batch Cigars, Dave and Andrew. Dave and Andrew have been fantastic to us. We thank them so much for giving us a chance to, support a small brand like us, and support them, and we both continue to grow in leaps and bounds. And so go check out smallbatchcigars.com. Use our code for 15% off. The code is Lounge Life, all one word. And yeah, go get your stuff because they make fantastic stuff. So yeah, I think that's
Yes, they
it.
do. Yes. Do we say like, follow, subscribe?
We did that already. We did that all the way in the
Yep.
beginning.
And merch. Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, we didn't do the merch. We have merch. So if you want to check out our merch, Al has been making our new stuff. If you're a wrestler guy and you like that kind of
Yep.
stuff. So
Yep.
we have all kinds of new stuff coming out, all kinds of new stuff. We're constantly designing stuff. Our OG stuff is in a bonfire store. But I think we're gonna end up
That
you
may
know,
that
f-
that may fade away.
I think our OG stuff may fade away, and I think we're just gonna start using Big Al custom apparel,
Yeah.
which I don't know, that guy's Big Al custom apparel. So he's been making our stuff for us now. And we got like a cool fish logo. If you see the fish logo, um, because we don't want to get a cease and desist letter. We
No.
have a really good donut logo. Um,
Yes.
we have a
Uh,
wrestling logo. We have all kinds
we
of stuff. Just go check
we
us
have
out.
a very 80s/90s Saturday morning show type
Low.
logo.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
Um, we've
Plus
got
we
all
each
kind
have
of
our own.
stuff.
Plus we each have our own stuff. We got Big Al stuff. We got Sticks at the Shore stuff. So go check us out. Look at Big Al Custom Apparel, and he has all our stuff
Yes.
on his channel.
Yep.
So check him out. Order it. Ships fast. So
Maybe.
yeah, maybe.
Well, it gets to the shipper fast
There you go.
or the delivery service. I can't vouch for them.
Yeah. Well,
So
can't do anything about UPS or USPS or whatever they're called. So, all right. And I think that's a
yes.
wrap for
So
us. Now, I mean, it's the best part of the night
let's
where we get to bring on our guest. And we are so happy to have Dave West with us. Um, he is not only, like I said, not only is he co-founder of Avowed, but he's also the co-founder of Small Batch Cigar. So he wears multiple hats, and we are so lucky to have him on. And yeah, I think it's time to kick it over to our guest. Today, we are getting a chance to sit down with a man who is making some serious waves in the boutique cigar space, none other than Dave West, co founder of Avowed Cigars. From passion to purpose, Dave has built Avowed on a foundation of dedication, craftsmanship, and a true love for the cigar lifestyle. And today, we're diving into his journey, the story behind the brand, and what makes Avowed stand out in a crowded humidor. So, what I'm going to do is bring him on right now. And here he is. Dave, thank you so much for uh, joining our small little podcast. We appreciate it.
Guys, no, thank you. Thank you for having us. I don't know if you remember or not, but you were one of the very first people to find us on Instagram.
Absolutely. I totally remember that. So, day one, I was actually sitting at my job and I was sitting up front of the ER. And I had been like, anything. I had just caught wind of Klaus Kellner because I think it was back after PCA had just happened 2025. And I got to meet Klaus and absolutely loved some of the stuff that he gave me. And then it was announced that you guys were going to be coming out with a brand that was being backed by Klaus Kellner's factory. And I was like, these guys are going to be absolutely on fire. And a year later, like everybody's talking you guys up. So yeah, it was actually kind of neat to be recognized. And thank you for that. I didn't know you had still remembered that.
Of course, no. I mean, you don't forget something like that. We a lot of times you put out a press release
Yeah.
and you kind of wait for things to shake out and see what
Yeah.
happens, and then there's crickets for a little while because it may not get posted, it may get revised, maybe all these different things.
Hmm.
But when we posted that and you actually took the time to find us and hit us up and send us a
Yeah.
message, I mean, you can't forget that.
That's
That was
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, man. I'm so happy that you guys, I mean, you're a year into it now. Congratulations, by the way. We just celebrated our 1 year. You guys celebrated your 1 year. And
Yeah,
you actually just celebrated that with releasing Hollowed Hands, correct?
that's correct. Yeah, it's wild because it was our 1 year anniversary on Valentine's Day, and yes, our wives hate us for launching on Valentine's Day. And we
Nice.
celebrated with Hallowed Hands, and that was awesome. But a lot of people don't know that the work really started in like 2023.
Oh, I'm
It's such a
sure.
funny thing because we're like, oh, our 1 year anniversary, but then we all stop and look at each other and we're like, wait a
It's
second,
we've
it's
been
actually
working for
been a
3
few
years
years.
here. Yeah, exactly. It's funny because, when you're in the industry and, if you're a newbie and you watch this, you're like, "Oh yeah, it's been a year." But in actuality, like, people who are in the industry and people who go to these trade shows know, like, you've probably been blending and tasting cigars for this 1 year hallowed hands for like at least a year, if not more. At least a year, if not more.
Yeah, at least. We launched without hallowed hands, but it had already been rolled. It was already
Yeah.
aging well
Mm,
before that. We started working on the box in, oh man, summer of 2024,
yeah.
almost 9 months before we launched.
Okay.
The 1125,
Yeah.
which we talked about briefly before the show, this was also rolled well before
Yeah.
we launched. Yeah, so it's been cool because we've been introducing ourselves to the cigar
Hmm.
community with a new hat. You know, a lot of folks know us from various different things, but saying, "Hey, this is what we do now." But we had these exciting blends that were in our back pocket the whole time, and it was so hard not to spill the beans the entire year and to
Hmm.
say, "Hey, this is coming down the
Right.
pipeline."
Yeah, of course. Now, how did your cigar journey begin? How did you say, Dave, like, this is what I wanted to do for a living?
um, it wasn't what I wanted to do for a living for a long time. I got
Hmm.
into it from a friend, and this friend had a birthday party for a very young child. I
Hmm.
think a 1 year birthday party. And I also had a young child. This was 2007. So we went over. I didn't know anything about smoking cigars, but I fell in love at that moment with just slowing down, escaping the rat race, not worried about anything else, but enjoying your hour and a half, those 90
Yeah.
minutes. I didn't appreciate it at first, but over the next few weeks, I kept going back to it. And I was like, this is what life should be, having a real conversation with
Yeah.
no agenda. You know, you're not trying to sell anybody, you're not being sold. You're just enjoying life for an hour and a half at a time.
Hmm.
And then I went into the military, and of course, cigars also. It's camaraderie, you know,
Yeah.
same deal. You got community. You can sit down, you can shoot the shit, you can talk about life. And that doesn't always happen, but when you grab a cigar, it's guaranteed to happen.
Hmm. Yeah.
And all of this happened over the
Right.
course of about 8 years. And then I really, my first jump into the industry was not understanding. And it was a lot
Hmm.
of hubris, and it was a lot of looking at reviewers and just saying, I don't understand this. I don't agree with it. I see all these tasting notes like, um, I don't know, Patagonian leather and, rich Himalayan salt and, like all
Yeah.
these different things. I don't understand it, but also it
Yeah.
felt artificial to me. It felt pretentious.
Yeah.
So my first foray into it was to start a cigar community and just label things as an aggregate, as a group. If,
Hmm.
94 people rate something and say I get chocolate and pepper, there's probably chocolate and pepper in that cigar.
Hmm.
If one person says they get something crazy,
Right.
take it with a grain of salt.
Of course. Yeah.
Um, but then quickly I found that also was pretentious on my part because I assumed that everything had to fit my brain without stretching it first.
Hmm.
The more I sat down with a cigar and a pencil and paper, and I
Hmm.
just closed my eyes because I'm not a super taster, but I close my eyes, I get rid of all the other distractions, and I just think to myself, what am I tasting at its base level? And
Hmm.
how would I describe that to somebody if they weren't also smoking the same thing? The more I grew and the more I began to notice not only the base sensations like you're sweet and you're salty and you're sour and you're bitter and these
Hmm.
things, but just relating it further and further and further and growing. That combined with a gentleman named Friday Ellis of Governor Cigar and Pipe, he's now the mayor of Monroe, Louisiana.
Huh.
He really exploded my
Nice.
world with boutique cigars way back
Okay.
when, 2015. Uh, that was my first introduction to Warped and Crown Heads and so
There
many
you
good
go.
things. Yeah, and Tatuaje back then too. Um,
Mhm.
that growing and then Friday Ellis pushing me out the nest and saying, "Hey, you have to try this."
Hmm.
Those were huge for me. But even then, I didn't really want to be in the industry because it felt like if you love something so much,
Mhm.
and you do it as a job, that you lose something at the same time too, because you can't have both.
Yeah.
But then I met Andrew with Small Batch,
Mhm.
and Andrew, he broke down every barrier that I had because he's just such a great guy, and we became really fast friends. And I started reviewing and I started working with Andrew, and it never felt like I had to give up something. It never
Yeah.
felt like a job. It always felt like pursuing my passion. I got
Mhm.
to learn from the best of the best, and I got to interview so many people and learn why they did certain things certain ways, and learn kind of what to do and what not to do. Um, yeah, it's so
Yeah.
wild because never once did it feel like a job. Even to this
Yeah.
day, I get to do this.
It's
Like this is
crazy.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. But that was my story. It was inauspicious. It was pretentious. And then it came full circle to understanding how little I actually know and
Mhm.
appreciating the great folks like the Kellner family that
Yeah.
know so much.
Mhm.
And with Avowed, that's what we've always tried to do is tap the right people, work
Yeah.
with the best of the best. We cannot assume that we will ever be the best at anything, but there's a
Mhm.
lot of people that have been fine honing and fine tuning those skills for a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not use them?
Of course.
Yeah. So, was there anything specifically that inspired you to start Avowed?
Mm, yeah. I think if you asked each of us, we would each have different reasons.
Okay.
For Andrew, it's legacy,
Mhm.
100%. He has children, and he wants those children to be able to grow into something that they appreciate, that they love, that is creative.
Yeah.
And the creativity resonates with me specifically. I've also got kids, but the legacy part for me is more of being remembered.
Yeah.
We all want to do something that makes sure that we're not forgotten.
Right.
That's the thing. I don't know if it's for men and women. It seems like for most men that
Yeah.
that kind of resonates. Um, but for me specifically, it's always been something in the back of my mind. Once you flip the script, once you get involved with cigars, once you start not only reviewing but covering from the media, talking to all the different personalities and learning
Yeah.
how they do and why they do certain things. The question is, what would you do different? If you had your own brand, what would you do?
Yeah.
What would you not do? And those questions just build up over such a long time, but that still doesn't give you a way to make your dreams come true.
Mhm.
And so when class let Amar and Andrew know that he was opening a factory in a few months,
Yeah.
that was when all these things from all these people came to
Mhm.
fruition, and it was like, oh, okay. Not
Yeah.
only do we
Because I
have the
mean,
ambition and the capability, but
yeah.
we have a way.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get to work with like a legendary family in tobacco at that point, and that blows my mind to me. Like when you have the opportunity to work with the Kellner family on anything, it just seems like everything the Kellners touch turns into gold at this point. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, I haven't smoked it yet, but like the Kellner 80, which was just released, I believe, beginning of the year. Like people are raving about it already for Cigar of the Year list, and it's just like it's and you working with Klaas, being able to say, you're working with a Kellner, but you're also working with like an up and coming superstar in the industry who's starting his own factory, who's trying to, not ride dad's coattails of like the Kellner family name, but also trying to strike out his own brands as well. So I think that's awesome that you guys went and actually did that.
Yeah, and it's cool because several of our projects have been along that same line of thinking. Awakening, it used a wrapper that was last harvested in 2015,
Hmm.
but we got to put our own spin on it with
Yeah,
Class.
yeah,
New Dawn is Class's blend. Class created New Dawn, and it was a one and done. We described
yeah.
what we were looking for, and Class said, "You know what? Let me work on that." And he
One of my
brought it
favorite
back.
Connecticut's, by the way.
Yeah, and
It's
it's
so good.
stellar, man. It's so
Yeah,
good.
it's so good.
And that's part of the name too, is it's New Dawn because
Yeah.
in that one puff, everybody was like, "Oh my God, this is the future." But it's
Hmm.
also class. It's the next generation. It's a new
Yeah.
dawn for us too, because we're leaving retail and moving into creating our own brand and our own legacy.
Mhm.
It's a new dawn in so many aspects, but it's been amazing. Yeah.
Now, did you find any challenges when you guys were launching Avowed? What were some of the problems you ran into, if any?
Mm. Oh yeah. No, there's challenges galore. And some of those challenges will be fun Easter eggs.
Hmm.
Some of those challenges we've
Hmm.
had to learn from. But if you're not learning and growing, you're probably just not paying attention, I think.
Yeah.
And the cigar industry will give you ample opportunities to learn and grow.
Hmm. Hmm.
Some fun Easter eggs like the new Dawn boxes. The original boxes we had a different color of that baby blue on the
Hmm.
lid. The most recent boxes have the same blue as the band. So it's just a little collector's item there. Awakening actually it has 2024 written on it, but we didn't launch until 2025. That was intentional on our
Mm.
part. We intended to launch in 2024. February is not a good time to launch a cigar brand. We have
Mm-mm. To,
PCA right around the corner.
yep.
Everybody is still they're licking their
Hmm.
wounds from the January and February sales. It's just not a good time.
Yeah.
But 2024, we were tasting and evaluating, and our goal is not to release a cigar because we have money tied up in it. Our
Of course.
goal is to release a cigar when it's right, when it's ready. And everything
Sure.
benefited from that 6 extra months of just waiting and being patient.
Yeah.
That's why the Vow, it launched with 18 months of age on both sizes. The Vow, actually, every Vow that you have right now in the entire United States is first run. And the
Wow.
629 and the 705, they're
Hmm.
celebrating 3 years this summer.
Phew.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
still have a
crazy.
couple sitting in my
Wow.
humidor, which I'm thankful for every single day.
Yeah. Yeah, every new Dawn except the new Corona Gorda was rolled, let's see, summer of 2024.
Yeah.
So they're coming up on 2 years. But that blend, it is so nuanced and gentle and sophisticated
Yeah.
that it benefits from that extra time as well. It just gets a little sweeter
Hmm.
every month that goes by.
Nice. Nice. So, how do you approach your blending and product
Mm.
development for new lines?
Ooh, those are two very separate questions, but it gives me an opportunity to go back because I had to take a puff on my cigar. This is the 1125, and I'm in love with this
Well, I
blend.
told you that was in my top five, so I'm
Yeah,
happy. You know,
Mhm.
I was so
yeah,
happy with it. Yeah, it was so good.
and it's getting better again
Yeah.
by the month. It's
Yeah.
amazing, and so I paused awkwardly there, and I'm really sorry about that. But when we're talking about growing and learning and blending, that's
Hmm.
also class because we've had the opportunity to learn so much. I think if you just threw tobacco at us 3 years ago and said have fun, we would not be where we are now. Class is an encyclopedia. It's
Hmm.
almost like the difference between AI and a search engine versus 25 years ago.
Oh,
Well, I guess
yeah.
35 years ago. You don't have to go and learn
Right.
it all for the first time. You
Hmm.
can get the nuts and bolts. And like I tell my children, a smart person will learn um, from their mistakes, but a wise person learns from other people's mistakes. And same deal with class. He was able to guide us in so many ways. And I'm a cigar nerd,
Yeah.
and I still want to try everything. And so if I have a crazy idea or any of us have a crazy idea, I want to explore it. I want to taste it. I want to see what happens. And a lot of times class will be like, well, this is what's going to happen. I believe you. And he's usually right, but
Yeah.
I want to experience it because I
Of
want to have that
course.
same level of
Yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah.
So sometimes it doesn't, work. Again, hubris gets in the way, but other times you can fast forward and it like in technology, we're leapfrogging.
Yeah.
Thailand didn't have DSL. They didn't have broadband. They went right
Mm-mm.
to fiber and they have more fiber in their country than probably any other country on earth.
Hmm.
Same deal with working with class. We can go in and talk about tobacco at such a high level of knowledge that we don't have. We are
Yeah.
getting from class. And it's amazing. But also he has access to tobacco that we really probably shouldn't have at our small level, because we're
Yeah.
not a huge brand. We're in 35, 34, 35 locations in the
Yeah.
US.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like we're not a huge brand at all, but we're able to do things just thanks to his connections,
Yeah.
his family, and all the different ways that the Kellner family and class specifically has.
They open
Uh,
doors.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Um, so that's part of the challenges too, though, is you win some, you lose some. When you're blending, if you're not humble, I don't know what to tell you. You know,
Yeah.
there's so many things that you think would be amazing, and
Hmm.
it just doesn't work. You have to always taste it, inspect what you expect every single time.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then the packaging, the presentation, that is also evolving for us.
Yeah.
The Vow, I think it does such a good job of being understated,
Hmm.
and it has a good presence on the shelf, and when you're smoking it, it feels good, and that's always the goal for us, is to taste good and feel good smoking it,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of things out there that taste great, but if it doesn't have a band, it's hard to share with your friends, it's hard to tell people about it, it's hard to feel like $1 million
Hmm.
while you're tasting something that feels like $1 million. You got
Hmm.
to couple those two together. But the Vow relatively is understated compared to some of our other lines. Like Awakening, it goes all out with the packaging. Hallowed Hands most recently, since we rolled it before we launched, we had a long time to dial everything in.
Yeah.
And that's the goal, is to always push the envelope,
Hmm.
always try to stretch our comfort zone, but also do things that may not have been done before.
Yeah.
Um, like Awakening has that inlay around the box, which is just, it's really fun, but I don't know that I've seen something like that before. Andrew really wanted for Hallowed Hands to have every band be unique. And
Hmm.
that also, I don't think it's been done before, because at scale, it's kind of a, it's hard. It's
Yeah.
impossible. We ended up doing every box has unique bands, and there
Yeah. Yeah.
still would be, randomization between them. But it's just so fun. And that's the thing, that you've got to do something that feeds your soul.
Hmm.
And creativity for us, it exists in both the packaging and the blending and the experience that we all share together, whether it's an event or something like
Hmm.
this. All three of those things, it feeds our soul. And so we're always going to grow. We're always going to learn. We're always going to push the envelope, and just try to do better every time.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
you had said the story that um he had wanted the every band to be distinct in some own way. Wasn't there a band that you guys put out, something that looked like a fingerprint was supposed to be on a band, or was it on a box? Or
Uh,
I forget what release that was from, but I had, when I was, I go through Half Wheel all day long and just to kind of see what's
mhm.
going through. And I remember one of the stories that had come out about Avowed was that I think you were going to release bands that had, I guess, fingerprints on them or something that was supposed to be unique to each cigar or something like that. What was that?
Yeah. So that was Hallowed Hands.
Okay.
And when Andrew first brought up the idea, because again, Andrew, he's a visionary, so he
Yeah.
wants to create stuff that's never been done before, and he mentioned everything being unique. I'm more of a storyteller, and so I hear that, and I know what we're calling the cigar, and I
Yeah.
know what we're everything we're putting behind it, and I say, okay, wait a second, we're calling it Hallowed Hands. If everything's unique, it can be unique like our fingerprints are
I
unique.
gotcha.
We're
Okay.
making this to celebrate
Mhm.
every single person and family and generation that came before us,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, none of us are essentially trailblazing from the start. Each
Mm-hmm.
of us are standing on the shoulders of giants who have created such a wide path, and our
Mm-hmm.
goal is to extend the path or widen the path so more people can follow behind
Yeah.
us. Hallowed Hands is a celebration of all those guiding lights in the cigar industry and our lives, the whole shebang. And that for me was such a powerful storytelling tool.
Yeah.
And when you open a box of Hallowed Hands, every single band on the inside of that box will be slightly different.
Mm.
It won't be radically different, but the background that everything's printed on has entropy. It has randomization. And
Nice.
so you look at it and you're like, wait a second. And I still get emails and calls and social media messages saying, hey, I think there's a problem with the bands. They're not all the same. And it's like, no, that's the goal.
That's
That was
designed.
the
Yeah.
intent. Yeah. And now let me tell you why we're celebrating all these other people. You know, it's a good conversation piece.
Of course. Now,
Yeah,
what
for sure.
what separates Avowed from other boutique brands in today's market? Now, I know you guys are being super selective with the stores you go into.
Mhm.
So what is how do you want to stand out from everybody else?
That's a hard question because I don't think the goal is instinctively to be distinctive.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is to do things our way because we've been on the consumer side, we've been on the retail side, and we've seen a lot of at bats, and we want to do things our way to control our growth trajectory, to control our perspective, to control the communities that we're in. But it's not necessarily just to stand out. It's more of you only get one life, you know, and if you
Yeah.
can't do it your way, then why go through all the hassle of creating cigars and having a cigar business? Um, some things that I think are good to talk about because they are our style. We may not be the only ones doing it, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it's part of who we are. Is we are invitation only.
Mm-hmm.
We don't solicit. We'll be at the trade show, but we're not going to have a booth because we're not taking on new accounts. We
Yeah.
are finding the accounts we want to work with. And the invitation package doesn't just come with like 3 or 4 samples. It comes with a lot of cigars. And it comes with a whole booklet that tells our journey from where
Mm-hmm.
we began to where we are now. Because we want to be in a shop that takes the time to learn our story and then
Yeah.
shares our story with their community. We don't want to be in a shop that is unsure. And so every one of these folks that we send something to, I let them know, hey, if get back to me when you're ready, but I'm
Yeah.
not going to harass you. I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to
Yeah. Yeah.
email you 20 times. If it's not right for you and your community,
Yeah.
then it's not right for us. It
Yeah.
only works if we all win. Another thing that's pretty cool is every single thing we make is crafted by a single pair of rollers at Class's
Nice.
factory.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's really great for consistency because when they're making the bunch, let's say, if you have
Mhm.
10 different pairs working
Mm-hmm.
on that cigar, there's 10 different variations, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's everybody's
Right.
got their own thing. And so if you look at, let's say, the Val 705 versus the Val 629, the
Yeah.
head on the cap is slightly different.
Yep.
The 629 is more flat. The
Yep.
705
Just
is a little
round it
more
off
curved
more.
at the top.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah. And all of that is a little signature, but it's so cool because we spend so much time, and every factory does, getting somebody dialed into that blend for that Vitola
Yeah.
that once you get the muscle memory, once you get everything rocking and rolling, why change it? And
Mm-hmm.
that for us is one key factor. When I go to cigar events, I've been very fortunate, again, because of class, that there's not quality control issues. We don't have with 20 people smoking cigars, 4 or 5 plug cigars or 2 to 5
Mhm.
tunneling cigars. We
Mm-hmm.
just don't have that. And that is such a huge blessing as a co-owner because I don't want to have to deal with that either. If you're at a
Yeah. Yeah.
big event with 50 people, it could be a nightmare. Um, the other thing, speaking about the cap and how it was different on those, the cap is not a triple cap. It's not a single cap either. It is a pedal method cap,
Hmm.
kind of like a full tang in a knife. The same wrapper
Mhm.
keeps rolling up and folding and folding and folding to form that cap.
Hmm.
So if you're a consumer, it's really hard to cut a little bit too low and have it unravel on you
Yeah.
because it's one piece. We
Right.
didn't cut 3 circles out and glue them on top. It's all one piece. And that's another thing that it's I'm sure plenty of other people do it, but it not everybody. And that's
Yeah.
it's cool to talk about.
Yeah.
Nice.
Another
Nice.
thing outside of just being Class's factory, there's not a lot of brands, you know, that work with Class currently. But time, that's another big thing that not a lot of brands are really able to do, unfortunately, in the current climate.
Hmm.
But everything we've launched so far has had extensive aging time. Even our most recent Hallowed Hands, I mean, that was rolled in 2024 and released in 2026.
Yeah.
Everything we do, we want it to be with exceptional tobacco, worked by expert hands, and
Yeah.
aged until it's ready.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, you want to kind of take us through the current lineup and
Hmm.
what people should expect with each one?
Yeah, sure. So the Vow, every Vitola is a unique blend. The 705, that was our base blend. And it's a little rowdy. It's got some cappuccino and red pepper and cereal grain things happening. It's a little drier, to use a wine term.
Hmm.
The 629, it adds Kotui from Monica Kellner's Farms.
Hmm.
And that's really exciting for me because not a lot of brands can use Kotui. And we
Hmm.
can't really ramp up production of the 629 because there's only so much of it to go around in the first place.
Yeah.
But that one is a little sweeter. If the
Right.
705 is a bourbon, this one is more like a brandy. It's got
Mm.
more baking spices. It's just a little sweeter overall. The 1125 comes next, and that uses an entire leaf of Brazilian Cubra tobacco. And Cubra is so interesting because it is super, super, super salty.
Hmm.
Oh,
And talking about our blending methodologies and how we do things, initially we rolled this with an entire leaf of Cubra. We smoked it and we were like, whew, that is
Yeah.
salty right there. I don't know about this. And we rolled a half and we were like, ooh, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
Then we came home with lots of both of them and we smoked it over 60, 90 days, 120 days. And we were like, okay, the full leaf, it takes a step back over time. And it just gets a little bit sweeter, a little bit breadier, a little bit
Hmm.
creamier. Everything starts to marry together over time. And so we ended up going with the full leaf, and this 5.5 by 55 completely changes the game. It tastes like nothing else in our entire lineup. And in my opinion, I think it's probably the next step up from New Dawn. New Dawn, that is, we just added our Corona Gorda size. So now it has a Corona Gorda, a Robusto Grande, and a
Hmm.
Toro. And these, again, like everything else we do, they have their own unique personalities. I compare the Robusto Grande to it's a scalpel. You know, you can use it at the right time and it'll blow your mind. The Toro, I consider more of a pocket knife. The Toro has a little more oomph. It has a little more sweetness, a little more flavor intensity. Whereas the Robusto Grande, it is creamy and soft and gentle. It's
Hmm.
like champagne. You just can't go wrong with it. And then we made the Corona Gorda, which is the best of both worlds. The creaminess, the Robusto, the intensity of the Toro. And I mean, that is like a machete. You know, it's good for everything. It's amazing. That cigar, it pulls no punches and it does not apologize. But it's
Yeah.
still very sophisticated, very nuanced. It's us, you know, it had plenty of time to age and evolve.
yeah.
Um, Awakening, that's our limited edition, our very first limited edition. That wrapper leaf is a hybrid that last harvested in 2015.
Mm.
So once the last awakening is gone, that wrapper leaf is gone. It's extinct from planet Earth. They're not growing it
Mm.
anymore. Nobody has any plans to do it anymore.
Yeah.
That cigar
Wow.
too has evolved. When it first came out, it to me was like Oktoberfest beer. It had layers to it, but it was bready. It had roasted malts. It had this fennel seed thing happening. It was very wheat bread, and I don't know of many cigars that have hit me like wheat in such a crazy
Mm.
way. But it was again, to use a wine term, it was dry. now it is getting sweeter by the month. And every time somebody smokes this cigar for the first time now, and I smoke it, it's a new cigar to me too. And that's
Hmm.
so fun because Awakening was a concluding production. We made 2,000 boxes of tin. We used the last bales in existence, and it can never be made again. But again, every time I smoke one and you smoke one on that
Yeah.
day, it's the first experience of that expression for me too. It's
Hmm.
so cool just to see it evolve.
Yeah.
And then Hallowed Hands was stretching our comfort zone. That was the first time we did a lot of things. It's the first time we used dark Ecuadorian Corojo as a wrapper. It's the first time that we ever released anything with three sizes all at the same time.
Hmm.
It's the first time we did a box press cigar, and that box pressed Hallowed Hands uses the very first molds, the box press molds from Class's factory, which
Hmm.
is a little cool piece of history.
Yeah, I have to get my hands on some of those box press because I really
Yeah.
am a sucker for a good box press cigar, and it's just yeah, I've honestly smoked the Parejo and a box press right next to each other, and you can absolutely tell the total difference between the Parejo and the box press. I just box presses
Yeah.
are fantastic.
I'm on team box press, all the things,
Mm-hmm.
all the things. And
Mm-hmm.
to create it, it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Class's factory had to touch that cigar three times more than they had to touch any Parejo we made with them,
Hmm. Yeah.
because to press it like that, like let's say a regular cigar, the Hallowed Hands Toro, they press the mold, well, not press it. I'm sorry, they mold the bunch,
Mm-hmm.
and then they put the wrapper on it, and there you go. But for a box press, you have to get the bunch ready,
Yep.
and then you have to put the wrapper on it, and then you have to box press it for 48 hours, but you have to turn it every so many hours to stop it
Yep.
from getting hard edges. Yeah, it's so
Right.
much more time involved to box
Yep.
press, but you get really good airflow.
Oh yeah.
You get just
Yeah.
dynamic flavors because you're essentially underfilling the cigar just a little bit so that you can press it into the shape you want.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So great airflow, great volume all around. It's such a win.
Do
Oh,
you?
and in that box press, we put almost twice the amount of Pennsylvania broadleaf as the rest of the
Okay.
sizes.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
it's a unique little tweak on
Okay.
the blend, and it
Hmm.
changes it up completely.
Now, I know it's like picking your favorite kid, but do you have a personal favorite Avowed cigar that you will find yourself reaching for time after time after time?
Yes, and I I know that everybody else would probably say I shouldn't answer it this way, but yeah, I think today my go-to is New Dawn,
Okay.
and I'm sure that'll change over time. Like when the 1125 dropped, I smoked one of these a day, and basically until last week.
Hmm.
Um, it'll change all the time, but New Dawn for me is it's such a great cigar because you can start your day with it and you can finish your day with it.
Hmm.
And not a lot of Connecticut's can do that. I think
Correct.
it's the dark Ecuadorian Connecticut. It almost looks like an Habano, but it has so much
Yeah.
oils and so much flavor and it's so rich. And it
Yeah.
gets sweeter if you put other cigars in front of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, currently, that's the cigar in my life that I've smoked the most of. So I can
Yeah.
confidently say that that's my ride or die.
And it's nice because it's a Connecticut that's not gonna like just fall away with everything else. It's nice, it's punchy, it's flavorful, and that's I
Mhm.
like us. I like a Connecticut cigar. I find myself reaching more now for Connecticut's like morning afternoon with a cup of coffee. And I like the fact that I've smoked New Dawn at the end of the day and still had it stand up to some really nice light bourbons and whiskeys, and
Yeah.
it's really fantastic.
Yeah, I almost grabbed it. I'm drinking Penelope Weeded, and I almost grabbed it for this. That's a great
Yeah,
pairing.
yeah.
Anything with a little bit of peat
Mm-hmm.
also makes a Connecticut
Nice.
cigar shine because of
Mm,
the contrast is just
mm-hmm.
epic.
Okay. Well, what
I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought.
Hmm.
Um, what should listeners pay attention to the most when they're smoking Avowed cigars for the first time?
Oh, that that's a really good question. I don't think I've ever been asked that question, nor have I ever asked that question. And so that's exciting. I think flavor is what we blend to. Flavor is what we look for. Um, I would definitely encourage somebody though when they smoke any cigar to pay
Hmm.
attention to everything. When you cut the cap, does it shatter on you? When you cut the cap,
Mhm.
does it cause problems? How often do you have construction issues with that cigar? How consistent is the flavor profile? Is it something that 8 out of 10 you get the same experience, or is it something that more like 4 or 5 out of 10? Because for me as a consumer, that's what I go for. It's kind of like my wife would make fun of me. If we go out to eat, I'm not ordering a ribeye at a new place. I'm going to order the filet. And
Hmm.
she's like, "Oh, it has no fat. It doesn't have the flavor." And I'm
Mhm.
like, "Listen,
Hmm.
the ribeye, the best ribeye will blow everything else out of the water. But
Yeah.
I don't get the best every time. I get like a three
Right.
out of 10 sometimes.
Hmm.
A filet is going to be a 6.5, 7 out of
Hmm.
10 every day of the week.
Hmm.
Everybody knows how to cook the filet. And I would take that consistency over something else. Luckily, I don't think a lot of brands out there are betting on that. I think all of us are trying to make something that you enjoy and it blows your mind, and that's what art is. It's telling you, hey, pay attention, check this out.
Hmm.
Um, so for Avowed Cigars, it's hard to pick any one thing, but if I had to pick one thing, I would say the flavor because that's where we put so much time and energy
Yeah.
from the tobacco selection with class to, the rolling to the aging and patiently testing it and tasting it over time to make sure it's ready.
Hmm. Now, what
Very
has
good.
been your what has been your favorite fan or your lounge experience so far as you travel the
Oh,
country and you push and you go out and you talk about Avowed and you have these events? What has been your favorite interaction so far?
oh man, you're gonna get me in trouble.
We're the hard hitting
um,
questions.
yeah. So I'm just going to preface this by saying there are a lot of exceptional lounges. Since we're invitation only, we only want to work with the lounges to provide the best experience and service their communities in a way that we think is outstanding.
Yeah.
So every one of our lounges are amazing at what they do, and we chose them for a reason. Some that really knocked my socks off, though. The first one was Creekside.
Hmm.
Um, when you go into Creekside, they treat it like a restaurant in a way that I've never experienced anything but beforehand. Um, if you're outside, if you're on the deck, they still come around and pour water and ask you if you need anything, and they'll actually go get it for you. You don't even have to leave. It's crazy.
Mm.
I've never seen anybody treat it like that. And Dave Ember will tell you that, it's the listening. It's proactively anticipating your needs.
Hmm.
It's guys, it's magic. It's magic.
Yeah.
So we've been back 3 times total last
Wow.
year. And we're going back in April for the second anniversary.
Hmm.
And that's the other crazy thing about this is their second anniversary coming up. And they're
Yeah.
doing so much and they're making so many waves and they're raising the floor. They're raising the standard of what a cigar lounge
Oh
experience
yeah.
should and could be. So any conversation about like things that blew your mind would it be incomplete without talking about Creekside.
Okay.
Um, Lake Country in Wisconsin, the
Hmm.
ventilation in there blew my mind. It is incredible. I mean, you can have all these people smoking cigars, and you don't want the ventilation, you don't want the smoke to just disappear. If it goes
Hmm.
straight up and it's gone, it's not satisfying. I don't know why, but I was in a lounge in Kuwait
Right.
where the positive pressure was so intense, it all disappeared. You couldn't even blow it out of your mouth and see it. And it almost became a question of like, what's happening? Am I actually smoking? but it also felt like in an airplane where you can't smell as much, you can't taste
Yeah.
as much because there's just
Right.
so much positive pressure.
Mhm.
Lake Country in Wisconsin was none of that. It was the perfect balance. You can taste everything as if you were outside, but you're surrounded by a couple dozen people that are all smoking cigars.
Mhm.
It was awesome. I cannot praise them enough because they're doing it right. They're doing it
Mm.
right. And then another one that I spent a whole day with, open to close, was LACC, Louisiana Cigar Collective, or excuse me,
Okay.
Louisiana Aficionado Cigar Collective outside of New Orleans. And we're going to see them at PCA. These guys, they have a unique form of hospitality.
Okay.
And Creekside excels at service. Their service is unmatched. But LACC has this Louisiana hospitality. I was born in Louisiana. I still don't get that too often, but
Mhm.
Hmm.
you feel like home as soon as you walk in the door. Everybody is just so welcoming, and it's so charming. And I gotta say this, Kyle, he definitely ordered some po' boys, some
Mhm.
shrimp po' boys, and I made one disappear way too fast. And then I looked up and I was like, "Oh, like how was your sandwiches?" And they were just like, "Bro, what happened? You made one disappear."
Yeah, that's the weird thing about New Orleans. That you start
It's
talking about the
magic. It's
food. The
magic.
food. The food is just magic there. I don't know what. I don't.
Yeah.
I like the
It is.
mornings. It's funny, the mornings when I'm in New Orleans, the first thing I'll reach for is the chicory coffee with
Mm,
the oh geez,
the beignet.
the beignets. There you go. The beignets,
Yeah.
the chicory coffee with the beignets in the morning on the outside on the porch is
Yeah.
with the morning cigar is absolutely fantastic. It's
Hands down.
yeah,
Hands down. And when Sokka talked about chicory root for the Sin Compromiso, I
yeah.
don't think a lot of people understood it unless you've been to Louisiana, unless
Hmm.
you've really tasted chicory coffee.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
so good.
No, it's so different because I'm in Jersey and we have some pretty dang good coffee, I thought, until I went
Mm,
down to New Orleans and I was like, wow, this coffee is fantastic.
yeah, man. Oh, speaking of Jersey, right below you in
Yeah.
Philadelphia, there
Mm,
was another really good spot
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it was a game
Yeah.
changer. Um, Smoke.
okay.
Smoke in Philadelphia. When
Yep.
you walk in, they don't have a walk-in humidor for you. They have a
Interesting.
wall of cigars.
Hmm.
Yeah. Just a wall of
Mhm.
cigars. And so you tell them what you're drinking, you tell them what you're looking for, and they take you to the wall and they help you select something you're looking for. But when
Mm-hmm.
you do an event there, the whole walk-in is not available. Your cigars are available. So
Mm,
we did an avowed event there, and it was wild because it was just avowed cigars available.
mm.
I've never seen anything like that before or after.
Yeah. I've never been out to smoke yet, but it's pretty close to where I am. So we'll have to go. And I'm looking forward another lounge I'm looking forward to. Actually, my buddy's lounge, I believe, just got an invitation from you guys
Oh,
to bring into a shop. So
nice.
yeah, we're looking
Which
forward to
lounge?
it.
Where's the shout out?
Leaf Cigar Emporium, Shrewsbury.
Hmm. Okay. Cool.
So we are. I am super looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah,
Me too. It'd be good to hang out with you in person.
absolutely. Well, I'll be at PCA. So we'll be at PCA. So
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, we will be at PCA this year.
Yes.
Big Al, are you in
Yes.
the same area? Or you guys are y'all
No.
remote?
No. I am actually yes. I am actually in North Mississippi. So
Whoa.
we almost
Yeah,
couldn't be any further apart.
pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Hmm.
How did you guys
Yeah.
link up? How did this
Mm.
happen?
Through a cigar
We're
board, actually. Hmm.
yeah, we're both members of a online cigar group. And one
Man.
day we were just I was scrolling through and Rob said, "Hey, anybody interested in doing a podcast?" And I said, "Yeah, I've been trying to do a solo deal, and I'm just not happy with it." So
Mm-hmm.
we got on a call and just shot back and forth and just hung out and seemed to have pretty good chemistry. And said, and I think Rob had talked with another guy and maybe more, and it just with us it seemed to click, and
Mm-hmm.
the rest is history, as they say. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a people business, and you find the right people,
Mm-hmm.
rock and roll.
for sure. Well, and actually, PCA will be the first time that we get to hang out in person.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And we just celebrated our 1 year
Yeah.
anniversary. So it'll be the first time meeting
Ah,
each other like in a year.
man, you guys are lucky. So last year at PCA, I finally met a very long-term friend, Rich Casper.
Mm-hmm.
He was with Cigar Noise back in the day. He was one of our
Mm-hmm.
small batch blind reviewers for forever, the entire time. And I finally met him after, I don't know, 10, 11 years for the
Yeah.
first time at last PCA. That's crazy. Also, yeah, oh man, so many people I met for the first time last year in
Nice.
real life that I've talked to for a
Yeah.
decade or more.
Yeah.
So hitting that 1 year mark and already getting some FaceTime, that's all
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Northern Mississippi. Where at?
Dave, how do you South Haven? I am
Hmm.
just south of Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah. I've got family in North Louisiana and I've got
So
other family in northern Mississippi.
nice. Whereabouts in northern Mississippi?
Ah, you know what? As I'm drinking all this bourbon, I forget, and they're gonna kill me when they watch this.
Ha!
Oh, this is so bad. Let's see, near the Oxford area, a little west of Oxford. So
Gotcha.
I have to assume it's right up there because it's so close to Memphis and Arkansas and the whole shebang.
Mm-hmm.
That's up there by you.
Yeah, Oxford. Oxford is about an hour away from here,
Mm,
um, and of course, too, this tends to be Ole Miss country anyway. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, we're pretty tight down here, and unfortunately, a lot of people hear Mississippi, and me even growing up in Memphis, just 10 minutes away from where and crops. So we actually have one of the
Yeah.
biggest baseball facilities, one of the most well known in the country, right here.
Wow. That's amazing.
So
Yeah.
I never would have expected that.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's for youth baseball.
Oh, cool. So you spend your time at the stadium.
So um, I used to, and a lot of people come in to play tournaments, and that's where my son played. He's been out of that now for about 8 years. So now we cheer for medical school.
Woo!
Yes. Bring it on.
Yeah.
So what other ways do you interact with with your audience other than just selling cigars?
Hmm. I feel like selling cigars is the my least favorite thing that I do. um I mean, even some of our retail partners will tell you when we send the invitation package and they're like, no, I want to go ahead and place an order. And it's like, no, how about you try it and confirm?
Yeah,
make
exactly.
sure that it's right for you. And maybe your order will change, maybe it won't, but we're not going anywhere. It's okay. We
Yeah.
can wait an extra couple of weeks. Um, yeah, the whole sales thing
Yeah.
is not my thing. It used to be back in like '07, '08, '09. Like I sold certain things, but nowadays it's more about authenticity.
Hmm.
For me personally, it's more about like just doing the things that you like doing and not doing the things you don't like doing. And
Yeah.
so what I like to do is I like to talk to people like this. I like to talk to people on Discord or on
Hmm.
Instagram or on Facebook and just kind of meet them where they are. And I don't really like posting Avowed Cigars all the time. I like
Yeah.
posting whatever I'm smoking. And to this day, I still smoke everything. I smoke probably 6 cigars a day. One or two of them will be an Avowed unless we have a new release we're validating or a new batch or something we're working on.
Hmm.
But the whole sales aspect, it doesn't feel right. Connecting with people authentically and just being who you are, that feels the most right. So yeah, like where you can find me is places like Cigar Dojo or various Discords or Facebook or on Instagram or email.
Hmm.
um just anywhere that we can celebrate life
Yeah.
and just have fun with each other.
Now, do you find uh, boutique brands facing challenges at this point in the market?
um yes, yes, very
Yeah.
very much so. It's one of those things where trade policy does not favor us at the moment.
Hmm.
Regulatory policy does not favor us at the moment.
Hmm.
Um, every day, guys, we're so grateful to be able to do what we do and
Hmm.
have support like from you guys from day one, literally,
Yeah.
to everybody else that tries our stuff for the very first time on any given day. We are lucky to do that, but it's not easy. And there's a lot of challenges, a lot of headwinds coming our way for the whole boutique cigar industry.
Yeah.
Um, if you take a look at tariff policy, that's just one
Yeah.
side of the game. You also have the dollar devaluation against whichever currency you're going against.
Hmm.
For instance, last year when we were reporting certain things, the dollar dropped 5 to 6% against the Dominican peso.
Hmm.
So you have the tariff, plus you have the dollar devaluation, plus you have Texas, Tennessee, Colorado, Utah, California, all
Yeah.
having their various regulatory issues.
Hmm.
Um, it seems like the regulatory headaches are just going to keep coming because, with Medicare or Medicaid, I forget which is which, being cut for a lot of
Hmm.
states, they're looking to raise the revenue. And so tobacco is one of the easiest things to go after.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So it's hard. It's hard in a lot of ways. And then you have all of that, but then you have for the tobacco side of things, you have the shortages. You
Hmm.
have Mother Nature. On the boxes part of things, you have again
Mhm.
shortages in Mother
Hmm.
Nature. Um, yeah, it's a tough industry. It can be the most rewarding industry that I've ever been a part of,
Yeah.
but the odds are not stacked in our favor. Everybody that you see that is making cigars and are servicing a community, whether it's from the retail level to the wholesale level to
Yeah.
everything in between, these guys a lot of times are doing it because it's what they love,
Yeah.
not because it's something that you want to tell your kids to get into because you make
Uh,
money hand over fist.
yeah. It's funny it's funny you say that because I've heard from many people you don't get into the cigar industry to make any money unless your name's like Fuente or Padron, and it's you do it because you love it.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean those guys spent decades building that
Oh yeah.
legacy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they literally forged a path where there was not one before, and it's so cool to
Hmm.
see. So yeah, not to take anything away from those guys, but
Of course not. Yeah.
there's no free lunch,
Hmm.
and everything that you do, there's in a lot of industries you can do something once and then you have essentially residual after that,
Yeah,
right? Once you establish a certain
of
threshold, you
course.
can coast. In the
Mm-hmm.
cigar industry, you can't do that. You have
Mm-hmm.
to continuously evolve. You have to continuously educate your consumer and your retail partners.
Yeah.
It's a people business. And if you don't like people, it's hard. It's
Yeah.
very hard. If you like people, it's hard. But at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Every step of the way is people,
Mm-hmm.
and people are challenging.
Yeah.
That's I don't know a better way to say it, but if we were in a widget business, widgets are pretty simple.
Yeah.
If we were selling cars, right? Like
Yeah.
cars have a certain thing. People want to buy them every so many years. Cigars, I like to tell folks we're not in competition with anybody because we aren't. I don't know who our competition is. I don't know if anybody views us as competition.
Mm-hmm.
The cigar consumer represents less than 1% of
Yeah.
Americans. So if each of us take the time to introduce one other person in 2026 to the cigar hobby and
Mm-hmm.
create another cigar enthusiast, we've doubled the market. At
That's
which point,
fantastic.
Right.
yeah, who is actually in competition with anybody? We're
Yeah.
such a small piece of the pie. We're all working to expand the pie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it's just a wild scenario. We're
Yeah.
all fighting, we're all working together. Most boutique brands, or what I consider boutique,
Yeah.
they check in sometimes and they'll shoot us a message, and just be like, hey, we're rooting for you guys, congratulations on this or that, or I saw that
Yeah.
you got like the 1125 number 4 on the consensus for half wheel, which is pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Hmm.
um yeah, so like I like to say it's one dream, one fight. And that's so
Yeah.
true because all of us every day are out there trying to expand the entire industry. And there's so much love to go around. And I forget the original question, but but we all want to do better by each other,
Yeah.
whether it's even the boutique brands or the legacy brands.
Mm-hmm.
um when we talk about some of the legacy brands that a lot of cigar nerds are in love with,
Yeah.
their consistency is admirable.
Yeah.
The fact that they can keep a blend the same exact thing
Oh yeah.
from 1 year to
Mm-hmm.
8, 9 years later,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
The construction quality on some of these are
Mm-hmm.
impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It really is amazing. And so that's why it's hard to say like, oh well, if you're not this or you're not that,
Yeah.
because we're all in the same dream. We're
Yeah.
all on the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even
So,
like Mirafell is a relatively newer cigar brand, even
Yeah.
though they have one of the oldest cigar legacies, the family
Mm-hmm.
legacies on earth that's
Yeah.
still ongoing.
Yeah.
And
It'll be
they're
interesting to
still,
see. It'll be interesting to see what they do now that the whole messy breakup with Fuente happened. So, well, it'll be interesting.
it'll be interesting, but they're still growing and evolving. They just came out
Mm-hmm.
with behind the scenes, which I
Yep.
don't think anybody really saw coming. I didn't see coming.
Nope.
You think of this uber luxury
Mm-hmm.
platform they created, but they're still looking at trends and saying, hey, where can we fill a niche and where can we
Mm-hmm.
get in where we fit in? Yeah,
yeah.
it's so cool.
Yeah.
The whole
Well,
thing is just constantly evolving.
Mm-hmm.
and speaking of that, how are you guys trying staying authentic in that increasingly crowded market?
Mm. The hardest thing that I do on any given day is explain to somebody that it may not be the right fit or it may not be the right
Mhm.
time. For us, how we stay authentic is that invitation only process. We don't want to be everywhere. We
Right.
want to be at the right places at the right time. And some of that could be we don't want as much online exposure. Some of that could be that we want to protect our initial supporters and adopters, and we want to, give them a wide territorial integrity. But
Okay.
yeah, I think that's probably the best answer because we do it often, especially after the consensus came out with this cigar being the number 4 for Half Wheel. The
Yeah.
Awakening taking number 21. It was almost like every day there for a while. We had to explain that it's not a good fit. It's not a good time.
Yeah.
And I think that's the core of who we are. We want to be full retail partners. And we take partnership very seriously because we are in a service industry.
Hmm.
And so you have service and you have duty and all these things coming together. Um, I can't be a full retail partner to you if we all of a sudden have 150 shops because my time gets divided really fast. I
Right.
can't be a full retail partner to you if I don't have what you want to sell. So
Yeah.
it's also part of our factory planning and our aging planning and everything else all together. So authenticity means as a brand for Avowed we're not going to compromise. We're not going to put something out until it's ready, like the Awakening, which had a 2024 box, but it was released in 2025.
Hmm.
And we're not going to rush out and open 100 new shops tomorrow because that's just not
Mm-hmm.
who we are.
Yeah.
And as a personal note, for me, authenticity means I'm wearing shorts. That's that's what that's what's happening.
Yeah.
If I show
I'm
up,
in pajama pants, so it is what it is.
yeah, yeah. If I show up to an event with shorts, I mean, I like button ups because my neck can breathe. But if
Mm-hmm.
I show up in shorts, it's just out of love. It's me being me
Yeah.
because everybody else is taken. And why do your own thing if
Yeah.
you have to cater to, the crowd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave, Dave, honestly, we thank you so much for spending so much time with us. Like I said, normally we try to keep people for like 30 minutes. I know people usually have a super busy schedule, and I'm always like, man, we don't want to like take up too much of his time, but bro, you've been hanging on with us for like an hour now, and I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
Yeah.
we're just so blown away, so great. Like, thank you so much. We have
Yeah.
a couple more just rapid fire questions, kind of to end the
Guys, I'm
night
I'm here for you tonight.
before we let you go and do your thing. So, um, do you like smoking in the morning? Or do you like smoking in the evening? What do you like better?
Morning.
Morning.
100% morning. For what I do, I smoke mostly from about 8 a.m. till 5:30, 6 p.m.
Okay.
And it's hard to fit in an evening cigar just because you've already been smoking
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
time. It makes it hard for friends, but that first cigar of the
Yeah.
day with some coffee,
At the best.
it's hard to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you like Maduros or Connecticut's?
Mm, both. Both. There have been some Connecticut's that have blown me away recently, some
Mm-hmm.
Maduros that have blown me away, just absolutely mind-blowingly good. But both have a place, and I couldn't pick one because I probably do both on any given day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's your guys' favorite wrapper leaf?
Mine has to be a tie right now between MSA and Corojo. I dig a
Uh,
really good Corojo like you don't even understand right now. It's like my new obsession is I'll go through phases. So I have ADD. So I'll go through phases of
Me
like
too.
liking wrapper leaves. So for the longest time it was like a Connecticut. And then for a hot minute it was like a Connecticut broadleaf. And then it was like Mexican San Andres, and now it's like Corojo. So I'm smoking everything from Honduras, like Aladino and Cavalier, and all these people putting
yes.
out Corojo wrappers, and I'm just like, this is Like I just love the earthy sweetness of a Corojo wrapper, and if it's done the right way, it just blows people's minds.
100%.
Yes. I'm on a broadleaf kick right now.
Mm.
You know, just it seems like everybody's kind of jumping on the bandwagon, so to speak. And of course, some people are doing it better than others, but yeah, broadleaf right now is really tickling my palate. So,
Is that
are you
Pennsylvania or Connecticut?
whiskey? Oh, Connecticut, and and
Mm.
and Pennsylvania is not bad, not bad either. Um, but it's like I said, it's there's a lot of people trying new stuff, and we did have Rob and I smoked one on the show last year that was Pennsylvania broadleaf in a lancet uh, vitola, and it was fabulous. But Connecticut broadleaf is one of my tops right now.
Yeah, I get
So
that.
Yeah, I feel like Pennsylvania broadleaf, especially when you start getting into Pennsylvania versus Connecticut, I feel like Connecticut can be a bit more refined sometimes. I feel like Pennsylvania just gets
Mhm.
that gritty, earthy kind of like rough and tumble, kind of like you don't see a lot of people giving Pennsylvania broadleaf love right now, but it's in a lot of fantastic cigars though. I mean, it really is.
Yes.
It's
yeah,
interesting how it complements a lot of stuff, but
Hmm.
it's not as refined as say Connecticut broadleaf.
Yeah, Connecticut broadleaf is sweet and earthy, but the sweetness really drives.
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania broadleaf, we use it in a couple of cigars like Hallowed Hands and Awakening for
Mm-hmm.
the filler. And Class will tell you that he thinks it's sweet. It hits the tip of the palate.
Mm-hmm.
Myself, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I can get there, but most of the time I think it's not sweet.
Yeah.
The first Pennsylvania broadleaf that I loved was the Leaf by James. It
Mm.
was James Brown out of Avea
Yep.
Negra,
mhm.
and it had this
Definitely
molasses
cannot
thing.
find any of those cigars anymore. That is a gem right
Me
there.
either, man. Yeah, dude. But that molasses I get sometimes
Yeah.
from a Pennsylvania broadleaf that I don't get
Yeah.
from Connecticut. Connecticut has more of that, the sharper, more refined
Mm-hmm.
sweetness like
Mm-hmm.
nougat or
Yeah.
cane sugar.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me, like if you look at like my perfect example of a Pennsylvania broadleaf right now would be Umbagog,
Oh my
and
God.
it's like
Yeah.
so you don't really get that sweetness. You get like I can see sometimes when it's mixed in, but like the Umbagog will come out with like the earthy kind of dark cocoa-y kind of like muted tones, not like a sweetness. So it'll be like a cocoa powder tone, not like a sweetened chocolate note that you can get from some cigars. It'll have that earthiness and cocoa in it, but it'll be like a baker's chocolate, like a flat kind of you get more of the chocolate flavor than more of like a sweet chocolate flavor. If you can understand where I'm
Dude.
coming from.
Yeah, like Baker's cocoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Umbagog,
Yeah.
dude, the bronze back, that
Mm-hmm.
switch up,
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail you guys.
It's all right. No, you're
I
good.
just love
Oh,
I love
no,
tobacco.
you're
No, it's all
good.
right.
You're good. Well, do you prefer whiskey, bourbon, or rum to pair with your cigars?
Um, okay, so if I'm going to pair a cigar and I'm going for
Mm-hmm.
the total experience,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a scotch because
Okay.
there's layers to it. And I don't drink scotch often. I just want to get this out there. I am more
Yeah.
of a bourbon and rye guy. Just at the
Mm-hmm.
house, I'm having a sip. My favorite what do you call it? Sidecar is a little
Mm-hmm.
Coke Zero.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hmm.
it just something about the caramels from a lot of bourbons or the
Mine is
heat from a
Dr.
lot of
Pepper.
ryes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just every 5 or 7 sips, just a little palate cleanser of Coke
Mm-hmm.
Zero. The
Hmm.
bubbles do all the work. It's
Yeah.
amazing. But if we're talking about a cigar experience, Scotch, it plays such a huge role. And
Mm.
I'm talking not about the Islays, but more like the Highlands or the Space side. because they have so many layers to them
Yeah.
that it's kind of like Dr. Pepper. You're bound to find a good compare and contrast
Mhm.
pairing at some
Mhm.
point.
Yeah.
But also they're not as heavy body, so it lets
Mhm.
the cigar do the talking,
Yeah.
and the Scotch does the walking sometimes, most of the time.
Yeah.
But again, if we're talking about a Connecticut and you go with an Islay, a peaty Scotch, guys, it'll
Mhm.
blow your mind if you've never done it. A friend of mine, Brad, shout out Brad, he put me on it 10 years ago,
Mhm.
and it really does. The peatiness of the Scotch makes a Connecticut cigar taste sweet,
Hmm.
very sweet, not a
Hmm.
little sweet, a lot sweet, like sweet tarts level sweet.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
Now
contrasting
you know what's
effect.
gonna happen now. Now I'm gonna do it either when this tooth heals up, and I'm gonna DM you personally, and I'll be like, either you were absolutely 100,000% right, or this was terrible.
Bro, why'd you make me try this?
Yeah.
Please do. Please do. My
Yeah.
favorite
Absolutely.
pairing of all time is an Islay with the Black Label Santa Muerte.
Mm.
That blend
Yeah.
and just
Santa
a
Muerte
log
to me,
16.
and it's funny. So somebody to me described it. If you really love the Santa Muerte as a Snickers bar,
Yes.
basically, it tastes just like a
Yes.
Snickers bar.
Yeah. And again, I don't like Islay scotches. I
Hmm.
keep the Lagavulin 16 just,
Yeah.
for people that come over. But when I want to change a cigar up, that's what I do. I
Yeah.
go for the exact opposite of the cigar,
Okay.
and it just makes it shine every time.
Now, what is one cigar you wish you could smoke again for the very first time?
Ooh, Ezra Zion, All My Exes, that first
Okay.
release. Um, Something I've talked about a lot recently is HVC's La Rosa 520.
The
They
10
just put
year or
out
the
the 10th
regular? The
anniversary.
10th
The
anniversary.
regular, dude, the regular blew my mind. The
Hmm.
regular is still like a top 5 all-time favorite cigar for me.
Hmm.
Um, it was so, for lack of a better word, Cubanesque. It had this little bit of citrus. It had this little bit of a sourdough thing happening, that
Hmm.
twang, but it was soft and gentle, but also rich and chewy, and the body was just palpable.
Hmm.
Um, if I could have either of those again, I would be in heaven.
All
The
right.
All My Exes, it was I don't know, it had a root beer sensation to it.
Hmm.
It was just perfectly balanced, but a little bit of sweetness overrid
Yeah.
everything at the top. Yeah. It's sad to think about all the cigars that are gone, because there's so many
Yeah.
today that I still haven't tried, but they
Yeah.
exist. There's
Yeah.
those lost forever unicorns.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you guys? Do y'all have something you would kill? What would you kill to try again? And I mean murder somebody in the street and you have to go to jail, 20 to life.
So the one cigar I think that absolutely blew my mind is, so it was actually, I smoked it this year, and I would kill to try it again. So it was my buddy John, who I told you about at Shrewsbury, at Leaf Cigar Emporium in Shrewsbury. I went to his shop for my birthday, and I was just kind of celebrating. So he's like, "All right, it's your birthday. I got something for you. I want you to try it, and I don't want you to say anything about it until you're done with it." And it ended up being an Opus X Petite Lancero, the regular release Opus X Petite Lancero from 2008. So
Mm.
it was a 17-year-old Opus X, and I'm telling you, I literally thought I saw heaven for a second. And and it's funny because you normally you would get that pepper right on the palate for like a young new Opus X,
Hmm.
baseline Opus X. But what happened is, I guess, over time the flavors just marry so well that it moves from the palate out into the retrohale, and just the smoothness with the pepper and the cedar on the retrohale is just like, I like I could I would murder, I don't even know. I don't want to go too far, but I would. That's a cigar I would kill for again.
Dude, and that
Well,
brown sugar on the Petit Lancero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my favorite
Yeah.
opus, regular opus of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Big Al?
mine's probably going to be a little controversial, but it was the blackened M81
Hmm.
from Drew Estate.
Oh.
It was actually the first Maduro cigar that I smoked, and I was afraid. I was so afraid of that cigar because, and of course, I did the complete wrong thing. I watched all the reviews before I smoked it for myself, and I heard, oh, it's a pepper bomb. It's too peppery, and this and that, and of course, too, I was still probably 8 months in to my cigar journey, and um, it's like, well, I haven't had a meal, and Metallica is one of my absolute favorite bands of all time. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, if I don't like it, I can't. I don't want to trash talk it. I don't want to say it. No, it's something they did I don't like. It's not Saint Anger, but I smoked it. I was drinking water. I was floating in the pool by myself, and it was fantastic. The flavors blew me away. Um, I'm sorry, I just lost track. Got distracted again. Squirrel. But it really it changed my whole outlook on dark leaf cigars.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so and I think that was a big reason why.
It's deceptively smooth for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Mhm.
shade to black, similar deal. You don't get the mouthfeel of the
I
Maduro.
love the shade to black. It is
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
so good. With a
Me
cup of
too, man.
coffee, I'm telling you, I feel people give it such a raw deal sometimes because
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Drew Estate stick or because it's like a Metallica stick or whatever. But I'm telling
Yeah.
you, I cannot I can't say anything bad about a lot of the Drew Estate stuff only because they've been around for so long and just I mean, look, you have how many brands now at this point under under the umbrella of Drew Estate, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to be doing it right somehow, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
we'll
That's
see
for
what happens.
sure.
Yeah. And that shade to black was all the big Maduro flavor, but it was
Hmm.
also chill at the same time.
Yeah.
It was such a
Yeah.
unique experience. Yeah. Huge fan.
Yeah. So, Dave, honestly, thank you so much. We do not want to take up any more of your time. You've been so generous to us. And so, before we wrap it up, I just want to know what is next coming down the pike for Avowed Cigars. What should we be looking out for from you guys, either at PCA this year or in the coming year?
Yeah. Father's Day. Father's Day is what we consider our holiday because
Hmm.
every one of us are fathers or parents on the team, including class. And
Yeah.
so we want to honor that holiday each and every year.
Yeah.
And this year we're going to do something really cool. I can't tell you too much just yet. We haven't
Yeah.
finalized
We're good.
everything,
Yeah.
but I will say it's gonna be a way that we participate and all of our retail partners on that day without having to do an event
Yeah.
everywhere on that day. So we're gonna try to be everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and way back when we rolled Awakening, we also rolled it with some other ingredients. And
Okay.
so we're going to combine all of those in a little package and let people see what could have been, would have been,
Hmm.
and just experience a little bit of history with us, part of the blending process, like we talked about earlier. And then we have something else that we again rolled last year
Hmm.
that is going to be it. I think it's exciting
Yeah.
because you take the same vintage 2016 wrapper that's on New
Hmm.
Dawn, and then you flip the script all of the guts are completely different. This
Hmm.
is the first time we worked with Nicaraguan tobaccos. It's the first time we worked with Brazilian Arapiraca as a
Mm.
binder.
Love it.
It's going to be super exciting. And my favorite part about it is I don't think anybody's going to expect the amount of flavor. It's going to be smooth and nuanced and sophisticated like we're known for. But the
Hmm.
amount of flavor in the cigar, because it's an Ecuadorian Connecticut shade. It's a very dark Connecticut shade. It almost looks like a Bono, but still, the amount of
Interesting.
flavor that's going to come out of this is going to blow
Hmm.
some minds for sure.
Looking forward to it. Does this mean we're gonna have to book time at
Very
PCA
nice.
for you guys? Honestly.
No, because we're not exhibiting at PCA just because
Oh,
we're
gotcha.
invitation only, so we're not opening accounts or anything else.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, we already went ahead and got our release for the year, like the early PCA release
Hmm.
for February 14th, just
Yep.
because we don't want to get in the way. We know
Gotcha.
as retailers that there's so many
Yeah.
other folks that are exhibiting, and yeah, we just want to make it easy and just
Yeah.
forecast and yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well,
Now,
we should still set aside a little time to catch up and maybe have a stick.
Let's do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
if you're
I'm
there,
in.
we'd love to.
Yeah, it'd be my pleasure,
Yeah.
guys. So fun.
So, tell people where they can find you. Tell people where they can find Avowed. Just go ahead and plug away.
Yeah. Well, is it gonna be on YouTube? Can we mention certain domains and
Yeah,
emails and
we
all that
can.
kind of
This is
stuff?
gonna be everywhere. So
Okay. All right.
you're all good.
So if you're looking to find us in a shop near you, avowedcigars.com, that's
Hmm.
the domain. There's a location button at the top. Go ahead and click that and just kind of sort through and find pick your poison,
Hmm.
essentially. We're on Instagram at Avowed Cigars. You can email me anytime, Dave@avowedcigars.com. We try to be as accessible as possible. So even though I may not get to you soon, I'll try to get to everybody within 24 hours, unless it's something that needs a little more thought, in which case,
Yeah.
maybe 48 or 72. But yeah, hit us up, guys. Tag us on Instagram if you're smoking something you like or don't
Mm.
like. We're always happy to take all feedback. And you know what? If you take an amazing photo like these guys do, invite us to collaborate.
Yeah, that's him. It's always him.
Yeah. Yeah. Epic photos.
Appreciate it. But do you have anything final to say to our audience, to your audience?
I just say thank you. Thank you to you guys. Thank you to everybody listening, watching, supporting these guys, because they're at the forefront of what we do. They're championing small brands with big dreams. It doesn't get any better than that.
Hmm.
Whatever you can do to support these guys, please do it. And it's not about us. It's about them, because they're putting in the hard work that's often thankless, and we appreciate you guys so much, whether you're listening to this or you two gentlemen right here, because this
Hmm.
work, it's not easy, and like I said, it's often thankless, but the entire cigar industry thrives off of stuff like these types of
Hmm.
conversations. So thank you both, and I just hope this year blows up for you and all of your dreams come true, guys.
Thank you so much, Dave. Al, what you
Thank you
got?
very much. Again, thank you for spending so much time, for carving out, you know, time for our little podcast. And um, to everyone, I hope you win the battles you tell nobody about.
Mm.
And from me, let's just this world needs more love, man, honestly. And burn cigars, not bridges. So, Dave, thank you so much for coming on, hanging out with us for a while. Appreciate it. And we'll talk soon, all right?
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right. Peace, everybody.
Peace.